What's up everybody? Today I'm going to teach y'all how to make your drums hit harder. So let's get into it. I'm just going to make a beat from using a loop and just kind of make the drums on top of that, and if I got anything to point out I will do so. I'm just going to use a hoops loop. Alright, yeah, drums are going to go dummy on this one. Alright, so I mean the first thing that's important is you probably want to get a good decent drum kit. If you don't got any good ones, I'd look up Carson Beats. He has some free drum kits that 808s are there's a pretty good selection of them, and just everything, it's got everything you need, so it's basically all I use most of the time. And then obviously tune your 808s. D sharp minor it says, so that's what I'm going to do. It's probably starting on D sharp, and it sounds like it is. Hold up, why is that off? Oh, I got my BPN. It's not set yet. There we go. Alright, that's kind of the flow I want for the beat. This sounds like a... Start with a clap. Nah, snare. Alright, one thing is, I mean the 808's already hitting pretty hard, but, hold up. What the hell? Alright, first off, it's octave too high. Fix that. It's a lot of subby right now, so I'm gonna do add fruity. There's one thing you can do, you can add fruity distortion, and I use the some preset. Mess with the mix knob. So this is without it. With it. Just sounds a little bigger, or I don't know. And then for snare, let's see. That already sounds pretty good, but one thing you can do with your snares, you can compress them. I don't know how to use that though. I only know how to use G-clip. I mean, that's unnecessary for me to do it in this situation, but basically compressors, one of the things they can do is they can make sound louder, even though you can keep the level the same. I am going to want to compress this though, because it's going above 0 decibels. It's really freaking loud, but I want to keep that loudness to it, but make sure it doesn't destroy the mix. There's a difference. But you can see it's not ruining the mix as much as it was before. I can even lower it a little bit, we'll see. Yeah. Alright, and then for the hi-hats, one thing you can do is you can put up the shift. Here, okay. One thing you can do is sometimes these hi-hats can clip, or they can like mix up a lot with the kick and it sounds really bad. But one way you can fix that is if you put a peak controller on the kick. And then right click on here on the volume on the hi-hat mixer, and then you go link to controller 0.8 minus input, because 0.8 is the regular value of this. I'm really bad at explaining this, but basically we're gonna we're gonna select peak, and that's basically taking, so what the input is what is the value of this peak controller. So when the kick hits, the value is gonna increase, and we're just subtracting that from this so that the volume of the hi-hat is gonna go down when the kick one goes up. It's hard to explain, but I'm just gonna show you what that does. Alright, you can obviously hear that and see it. Makes the kick seem a little bit bigger, but then if you can hear a little clipping of the hi-hat at the beginning. If you want to get rid of that, you can put up the shift on the hi-hat here. But if once you go too big, it's gonna be too off of the metronome. So I kind of actually like the clip. If you want the drums to hit a little hard, it sounds kind of dope. So I'm gonna keep it. Then one basic thing that a lot of producers do, it's very common, is just have your open hats lead into your snares. And then to make it even like lead into it a little harder, one thing I like to do is you change the length of the open hat note so it stops right when the snare hits, and then go to its envelope, put down its delay, put its hold all the way up, put everything else down, just the hold's gonna be up. Basically that means right when you let go of it, the note, it's gonna stop right when you're done holding onto it. So it won't play. Once the note stops, it won't play anymore, and the snare's gonna stop it. Sounds really bouncy. I'm just gonna mess around with some perks now. Some other things you can do is instead of this open hat pattern like this is kind of like a thing I do that I don't really like to show a lot of people, but I'm gonna give you the sauce. So we're gonna take an open hat, and basically we're gonna change the pattern of the open hat to what the kick pattern is. It's gonna make the kick hit a lot harder. But what I like to do is I like to do this thing I did before, but we're going to change the delay just a little bit so you can hear that. you can just kind of maybe mess with the hi-hat pattern, hi-hat rolls, but you don't want to go too complex with it. Like for the speed, I feel like rolls are not necessary. I think a two-step hi-hat pattern does the job, but we'll see if it can do anything. Fire. Just gonna lay that out then. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all learned something. Make sure to follow my Instagram and my Twitter, because I'm going to be giving y'all a free loop kit. I'm coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. And peace out.